Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to Gist with Girls in Science and Technology. Gist with Gist. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, Girls in Science and Technology Ghana, and let's learn from our amazing females in science, technology, engineering, and math, our females in STEM. Thank you. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to Gist with Girls in Science and Technology. Gist with Gist. On today's show, we have an amazing woman, Efua Adabie. She's the pioneering head of African Science Academy. So welcome, Efua. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Ahima. It's a real honor to be here today. Thank you very much for the invitation.
So first, I would want you to share your educational background with us.
Okay, sure, I can do that. So I grew up in the UK. I've been through normal secondary school in the UK and so on. My most recent education, however, is a master's in education, gender and international development. So I did that at UCL in the UK. Before that, I had a postgraduate certificate in education for science education, and then a degree in chemistry.
Oh, okay.
So that's my most recent education, yeah.
Okay. So did you ever school in Ghana?
No, actually, no. I've been living in Ghana for 8 years now.
Okay. But then I'm sure you know how our educational system works, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. So I've worked in both international schools and with ASA now in Ghana, and have interacted with many students from the local system. I live with my niece who's also in the local system, and I have a son as well who's also in school in Ghana as well. So yes.
So what do you think is the difference between our educational system and what is done outside?
Okay, so I think I will talk mainly from the science perspective.
Yes, from the science perspective.
From the science, I feel that the transition I've noticed from here and from the UK is that the UK tried to get students to apply their skills, and it's not just about knowing the facts, but how you can apply it to the systems around you. Whereas I've noticed with the curriculum that I've investigated over here, it tends to be more about fact and recall and less of application. So you kind of just have to understand what the facts are, or recall what the facts are, and then be able to apply them onto the exam paper.
How do you think as a country we should tackle this when it comes to STEM education?
Okay, so I mean, for us with ASA, we've tried very hard to get kind of practical learning into the educational system, and also to try and get students to not just be sharp at STEM, but think about their creativity and think about their interpersonal skills, because it's one thing to be academically smart, but you do need to be able to communicate with your teams, you need to be able to communicate with other people, so that if you have a brilliant idea, other people can buy into that and make it really happen. No solutions are produced by just one individual. It takes a whole team, it takes collaboration, it takes understanding of what's happening around you.
So what led you to choosing this field? Like, what led you into doing what you're doing now?
Right, so in the UK, I used to work in a number of schools, and I found that I got most enjoyment, most feedback, most benefit from working with young people who didn't have the best opportunities in life. So I did that in the UK for a while. Then I moved to Ghana and worked in an international school, and found that I wasn't as satisfied with the role. I really wanted to do more. I wanted to impact more. So I moved to the NGO field just because I knew that I had a wealth of knowledge, And I knew that there were some people who were really eager to learn and really eager to make a difference. And it's with those people that you kind of, I don't know, you feel like you've accomplished more, you've impacted more. So it was the move from, I suppose, from knowing that I have a lot and to whom much is given, much is expected. So I really wanted to make a bigger impact in a different realm.
Okay. So can you please tell us more about African Science Academy to those who don't know about it? Can you tell us more about it?
Okay, yes, sure thing. So it's a small NGO girls' school based in Tema, Community 6, where we take girls from from all over Africa who have come from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. So we try, and of course there are lots of girls out there who are interested in STEM and medicine and so on. We try not to take those kind of students, but rather the ones that don't have the opportunities and would benefit from extra support and extra resources. We try and take those who are gifted because our resources are limited. So we believe that if we're able to impact one or two that are going on to be leaders, they will then be able to impact many others. So we take gifted girls who are interested in the physical sciences, knowing that the future of Africa, the fourth industrial revolution, is going to be about, STEM is going to be about science. So we need the girls' voice in there. So we try and bring girls into it. And we're not just saying it's just about girls. We believe that, development in Africa is like a bird, the wings of a bird. You need both the male wing and the female wing to flap together in order for us to move forward.
So how does one get into ASA?
Okay, so to get into ASA, it depends where you're coming from. So we've had girls from all over Africa. So from Southern Africa, they usually do their O levels, and then they come and do A levels with us in the 1 year. If you're from ECOWAS countries where they've done, like, you usually have to do your WASI and then get very good results and then come into ASA for 1 year after that. Yes, it depends on where you've come from. Some students have tried to come from other systems. So maybe they've come from the O-level system and then they come and do A-levels with us, or you finish WASI and then you add on a year with us and then move on to university.
So what if you are someone who can afford it? You're not a needy person per se, but then you're gifted. You can still get into it.
Okay, unfortunately not. So we're a small school. We take maximum 24 students. All of our girls are on scholarship. And the belief is that if you are wealthy and you've had, the chances to go to very good schools and you can access, the SAT kind of prep schools, or you can access good counselling and so on. If we believe that if you can afford, then there are many options out there for you. There's some really good schools that can help you to do what you want to do. But this is really for the economically disadvantaged students. So we've got a limited number of spaces and we want to give opportunities to people who wouldn't normally have those opportunities.
Okay. So, Efua, what is next for you? What's the next plan for you?
Okay, interesting. I mean, I really enjoyed growing at ASA and really enjoyed impacting the young ladies. Our first cohort are going into their 4th year of university this year. And so I'd like to see the impact of them, our alum, how are they impacting the world of STEM? How are they impacting Africa? I'd like to look at their development and look what's forward. I'd also like to look at how girls and STEM can really impact Africa and Ghana on a larger scale. So we started with this small school, but what other impact can we make? What other changes can we make? And not just on the surface, really want to see how women can be supported to make change in the world.
Okay.
So I would like to be instrumental in that.
So meaning when the girls even step out after the 1 year, you still follow their development?
Yes, definitely. I mean, so with what we've invested in the girls, we still encourage them to make change. There's a lot of case studies. I have girls who are in Ashesi, African Leadership University, Minerva. We've got girls accepted to Indiana University, Smith. But I mean, we're working with them. They must continue. We've got girls in Edinburgh. They must continue with the good work. They must continue making a change. They must continue to open up more avenues for others who are following them. It's not just about them, but it's about taking the mission forward. You know, they must continue to be leaders and lead others.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to drop your website. I'm going to drop the link to your website in the description box.
Okay.
Okay. So what advice do you have for our females looking to go into STEM careers?
Okay, I would say they should open their minds. I think that's some of the challenges I've faced with the young ladies we've worked with. When you go to like schools, high schools, and they're doing their WASSs and they're top science students, most of them and their families want them to do medicine. Yeah. And medicine is a very good career. But there are other options out there also. You know, computer science, as I said with the fourth industrial revolution, computer science is taking over the world. Artificial intelligence, you know, all the technology that works is developing the world. We need to be parts, you know. We need for the robots to be able to recognize our skin color when they have sensors and not think that there's something wrong. We need for women's views to be in there as well, so that these machines don't just think like men, but also consider and think like women too. We need Africans to be part of the tech world, you know, not just others doing things for us, but we contributing to that as well. And I think it starts with us as women, okay, and then we kind of spread it out and we bring others along as well, and we bring the guys along as well. But we need to be a voice in the fourth industrial revolution, otherwise we'll be left behind.
Thank you very much. So that is why we have GIST. We want to introduce these young ones to the numerous careers out there when it comes to STEM. I think most people are quite limited to the medical sciences, but then we want them to know that there are a lot of things, lots of opportunities out there for them. Thank you so much, Efua. I'm going to be contacting you on the side. I know a lot of people will hit me up about ASA. Most people don't know about it. I realize a lot of people don't know about it yet, but then we are going to be talking more and we are going to look at getting our girls into that. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's stormy out there, but then you still make time for us. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, Ahima. It's been a great opportunity.
Thank you. Have a nice day, dear.
You too.